Greetings! This is a Lambe Dolls tutorial on making a dreadlock wig for your action figures. Introducing Baba Nop.
Don't press 'em on, where you gonna run to? Don't press 'em on, where you gonna run to? Don't press 'em on, where you gonna run to? Oh, on that day.
You will need a 6-inch square piece of cardboard, an old knee-high stocking, some yarn, some thread that matches the yarn, a needle, 3 pins, and your sewing scissors. The first step is to make the wig cap. So, take up your knee-high stocking and cut the elastic band off the top. Then cut that band into 2 equal pieces. You'll actually be able to make 2 wigs from this one stocking. Set one piece aside and fold the other in half with the right sides together. Then backstitch at the bottom edge to secure your thread. After that, you can stitch along the open edge, turn, and stitch in between the first line of stitches to create a strong seam. Tie off your thread and cut it. And then we'll stitch in the same way across the top of the wig cap. When you reach the end, turn and come back through in between the first line of stitches. Only this time we'll pull up the thread to gather the top of the wig cap before we tie it off and cut it. Also, we'll trim the excess from the top of the wig cap like so. Then turn the cap right side out and it'll look like that. Now we'll cut the yarn to make the locks. Wrap the yarn 10 times around the cardboard guide, then cut it free and trim the knot that held the yarn in place. This is 4-ply yarn, so we'll separate it into 2 segments of 2 strands each and then knot them together at the top. After that, we'll twist the 2 strands together to make the lock. When you reach the end, make a knot. Then trim the raw edges, and when you've finished 10 locks, fold them in half, cut them in half, and knot the raw edges once again. Finally, trim the raw edges to make the locks nice and neat. You should have 20 locks altogether. Now take the wig cap and find the seam so you can position it over the back of your fit model's head. I'm using big-headed Beulah today because most action figures have heads that are made of very hard plastic, and we need to insert some pins to hold the cap in place. Doesn't hurt the doll at all. Now, insert your needle from the underside of the wig cap and bring it through the loop that you made by folding the first lock in half. Stitch across the top of the lock 2 times, and then we'll attach the next lock next to it by going down through the first loop, up through the second loop, and then stitching across the lock 2 more times. We'll repeat this step until we've attached 8 locks, like so. Then we'll turn and come from the back, positioning the remaining locks directly opposite the first row of locks, and using the same stitch to secure them in place. When you finish, it'll look like that. And you should have 4 locks left over, which you will use to cover the back side of the wig cap. The last step is to stay stitch the locks, but the first 4 locks will swing freely. Bring the needle from the underside of the wig cap and then stitch through the first lock. This way the stitch will be invisible. Now make a stitch beside the lock in the wig cap, and then stitch through the second lock. Make a stitch beside that lock and continue all the way around the wig. Now remove the wig, find the seam, and position that over the back of your action figure's head. And there we have a Rastaman. Watch for more wig tutorials featuring the Knop family, Mama, Sissy, Baba, and Junebug. See you soon!